Hi, William here. What are we looking at today? We're looking at Unit 16, Establishing and Monitoring Communication Systems and Organisational Procedures in the Workplace. Establishing and Monitoring Communication Systems and Organisational Procedures in the Workplace. Credit value of 11, quite a large unit, but it should be a unit that, as an experienced construction manager doing their NVQ, you should fly through. Let's give a reason why. As a construction manager, a manager's role is one totally of being a good communicator, and there should be enough evidence in your evidence portfolio to complete this unit quite easily. Let's have a look at the unit overview. Well, the title is Establishing and Monitoring Communication Systems and Organisational Procedures in the Workplace. As a construction manager, you should be the central hub of all site communication, especially once the project is underway. When we look at the title, Establishing is all about setting up the communication channels, and evidence of this is often found in the construction phase health and safety plan. Second part of the title of this unit, monitoring communication systems and organisational procedures. A sure way of knowing when communication or organisational channels are failing is when something has or is starting to go wrong. Monitoring and confirming communication channels and organisational procedures are working and all parties are openly communicating with the correct information is an essential requirement of a good construction or site manager. A good manager leaves nothing to chance, I'm sure you don't, and assumes nothing, because assumes makes an ass out of you and me. So assumes nothing but checks everything. Communication and monitoring are the tools by which a manager manages. When communication breaks down or procedures become burdensome or unproductive or break down, a good manager in a meeting investigates why, addresses the cause or causes and the consequences firmly but fairly, and records the issues and resolutions in the meeting minutes, and then goes on to monitor the situation to ensure the correct resolution is maintained. That's what this unit is all about. So, having given the overview of this unit, let's review the learning outcomes and see how you can best evidence your role as the central hub of communication and how you monitor that communication and company practices and procedures. I'm going to give some product type evidences that you can use to evidence this unit, but for your candidate statements or knowledge questions, please refer to the audio podcasts. They will give you a greater insight. And as always, please match your product evidences to your to your knowledge statements. So let's have a look at the learning outcomes. Learning outcome number 1. Identify organisational and communication needs for the project. If you're a construction manager that writes the construction phase health and safety plan, a lot of this information will be included from the client in their construction phase information, pre-start construction phase information, from which you will create the construction phase health and safety plan. And so, having given the game away, identify organisational and communicational needs for the project is found in the construction phase health and safety plan. When quoting the construction phase health and safety plan, if it's evidence number 6 or number 7, quote that number 7 and then give a page reference or pages. Number 2. Establish systems and procedures which are compatible with those used by the client, customer or their representative and the supply chain. Types of product information, that is what you do, what you have done. Project planning meeting minutes, again construction phase health and safety plan with the organisational structure. Again, give the evidence number and reference the page. Number 3, produce project information and circulate it to people and organisations that have an interest. Again, project planning, site meeting minutes, health and safety or progress meeting minutes or reports. These types of evidence will adequately evidence this learning outcome. Number 4. Establish methods of communicating information between people and organisations that have an interest. You could include in this section the induction content, your site induction content, pre-start meeting minutes, RFI procedures or site or project instruction procedures. Number 5. Monitor communication and organisation methods for effectiveness. Identify and investigate breakdowns and take action to restore effective communication and organisation procedures. Meeting minutes. They will do very nicely for that learning outcome. Number 6. Use information received to make improvements to the organisation of the project and communication systems. Meeting minutes, email correspondence. Number 7. Prepare for and manage meetings to meet objectives. Meeting minutes. Number 8. Complete actions following the meeting to meet objectives. Updated meeting minutes, perhaps with a diary sheet with action points completed and addressed. So have I almost got tired of saying meeting minutes as product evidence to this unit? Well, you can draw your own conclusion on that. And so there's not a great variety of product evidence that is required for this unit, and so the meat of your evidence will come in your candidate statements. Plan your answers carefully and work when you're fresh if possible, and give yourself and your studies the respect and the time they deserve. If you are working through your NVQ in a sequential manner, and we are on unit number 16, then you are coming to the end of your NVQ. But please be reminded, I respectfully remind you, that each unit will be assessed by itself. And so if you've started off working well and completing good candidate statements, maintain that standard right to the very end.